On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the second consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There will be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is resilience in the face of chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique DiPrima, with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA!
We love you. Love you.
I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke. Now I slam it when I'm done and make sure it's broke. When I'm gone, no one gets on, cause I won't let nobody press up and mess up the scene I set. I like to stand in the crowd and watch the people wonder, damn. But think about it, then you understand. I'm just an addict, addicted to music. Maybe it's a habit, I gotta use it. Even if it's jazz or the quiet storm, I hook a beat up, convert it into hip-hop form. Write a rhyme and graffiti in every show you see me in. Deep concentration, cause I'm no comedian. Jokers are wild, if you wanna be tame. I treat you like a child, then you're gonna be named another enemy, not even a friend of me. Cause you'll get fried in the end when you pretend to be competing. Cause I just put your mind on pause and I complete when you compare my rhyme with yours. I wake you up and as I stare in your face, you seem stunned. Remember me, the one you got your idea from. But soon you start to suffer, the tune will get rougher. When you start to stutter, that's when you had enough of fighting it'll make you choke. You can't provoke, you can't cope. You should have broke because I ain't no joke.
KBLA Talk 1580. That's his theme song. He is an entertainment curator and promoter. The company is TG3 Entertainment. He is an LA icon. Sean Swoopes, welcome. Welcome in. Why'd you pick Rakim?
It's my first cousin.
Really?
Yes.
In real life?
In real life.
Aha,
So
I did not know that.
I was a fan and didn't even realize it was my cousin until like about 2 months in. I've been listening to his lyrics and everything. And my uncle came to visit from New York and went and bought me the album. That's when I realized it was my cousin.
That is wild. So you were a fan first, and then you realized he was your cousin, not the other way around.
Not the other way around.
See, I'm glad I asked that question. Now, I didn't know I knew Rakim's cousin. Okay.
Yes,
To me, I figured it was because he was such a game changer for hip hop. He was, to me, he was super important to today's hip hop because he made it where you could rap over anything. He changed the flow to much more creative kinds of flows. And I think he opened the door to the next generation of rap artists.
I agree. I mean, when you look at it, you look at MCs now. Literally, can they get their point across without cussing? If you think about Rod, at the very beginning, Rod rarely said anything bad. I mean, the first time I heard him actually say kind of a bad word, was like, whoa, did he just do that? Because that just wasn't his style. But he got his point across.
Yeah.
And here we are 35 years later, and we're still talking about him. So,
I mean, in everybody's top 10, top 20, top 5 lists, I don't think Rakim is there enough. I think he should be there more.
It's
I know there's a lot to choose from, but
it is. I mean, we always have the discussion all the time when you talk about your top 5 or top 10, and it's so hard. But if you look at your top performers, your top MCs, they include him in their numbers.
At least, even if he's not the favorite, your favorite, as far as an influential artist, you gotta include Rakim.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Him, KRS-One, Public Enemy, all of them, they all made statements, and they're still around to this day.
KRS-One, I feel like we talk about him a lot less than we used to. He doesn't get as much shine as he used to.
That means I got to bring him to LA again then.
Let's do it. So that's what you do. You put together shows,
Yes,
whether it could be just like a DJ show or a show with performers.
I mean, more or less, it's not so much even about the performers. It's about the music and the culture. I mean, you look at it, when I first started promoting, was more or less the fact of creating an avenue for grown, mature adults that were like, you know what, I'm not 21 anymore. I don't want to be out till 2 o'clock in the morning, but I still want to do something. I want somewhere to go. And honestly, I got the idea. It's the truth. Like, I got the idea when I lived in Atlanta.
Atlanta has so many day parties, right?
Exactly. That was my
They be
first one.
drinking and partying in the daytime.
Literally, when I moved to Atlanta, my cousin told me, say, look, man, I gotta take you out. You know, you're always working. I need to take you out. We need to hit up this day party. I'm like, a day party? He was like, yeah. He was like, I'm gonna come pick you up at 2 o'clock. I'm like, 2 o'clock in the morning. First thing I think in LA, you think after hours. I'm like, I'm not. But 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm in bed, bro. He was like, no. He was like, no, it's 2 o'clock p.m. I'm gonna take you to a day party. And he came and picked me up. And literally, when I walked in, it was like 3 o'clock. And when I say the place was jumping, and literally, even at that point in time, I didn't know I was gonna move back home. I didn't even know I was gonna be promoting. But I got the idea when I came back home and the opportunity presented itself. I'm like, you know, I was like, we need to do those parties that they were doing in Atlanta. Like, we need to do day parties. And that's how it began.
And that's why people call you the king of the LA day party.
Pretty much. Like,
I mean, why did it take so long? We have the best weather. We got venues. We got beaches. I mean, LA is like a day party all unto itself.
And that was my thought process when we actually got it started. We started an event called Relax Day Party. It was right at Melody Bar, right across the street from the airport from LAX, where the In-N-Out burger stand is. And I saw it, and pretty much what I liked about that spot, it was more or less, it was grimy. It was a dive bar. It wasn't anything fancy about it, and we made it about the music.
And we like that because why?
I mean, honestly, it gives you that New York feel and appeal. You think about the tunnel. Nothing was sexy about the tunnel, but it's still talked about to this day.
So it's really the vibe.
It's a vibe all day long. And even not with that, it was your music play will also dictate your crowd.
Yeah.
So when I said that, more or less, it was when we started Relax Day Party, it was 1980 to 2005. Like, as long as you stayed in that lane, you know, you were good. Literally, back, if you want to get a new song, you throw one in real quick, get in and get out of it. But keep it old school and classic. And I mean, that was the beginning of TG3. I mean, that's what really put our stamp in the game of what we do, what the expectations were, and our audience. You think about it, like, our crowd to this day is literally 35 at the youngest, but it's 35 up to 55.
35 to 55. Well, that whole idea of like grown and sexy or grown, what did you say? You had another way of saying it.
The older, mature.
Older, mature crowd.
Seasoned. I mean, there's so many different words you have right now.
Tavis says chronologically gifted. I like to steal that term. But the idea of catering, and we started to see that more in radio too, catering to folks that generally, you know, you don't think of as party animals. But a lot of the first wave of hip hop folks are seniors now.
Agree.
I mean, I went to when Cool J had that show with Rakim and a bunch of other folks. I went to that. There was a lot of older adults.
Agree.
What we used to call senior citizens there. And I'm going, what happened?
Like, we got old overnight.
What happened? Oh, wait, I'm old too. No, I'm not. I'm in defiance of that. But people still want to party, right? They still want to.
If you look at, if we think about our parents, like when our parents were like my age, I'm 53. When my parents were 53, they weren't 53 like we're 53 right now. Like, they were 53 and they were older, where
They were older.
With us, we still, enjoy going out. Like, I mean, it's literally, like, I did event I do every year for my birthday, the Run It Black, all black attire event. Had DJ Quick perform. Literally, we had 1,400 people that came out, 1,417 to be exact, but who was counting?
And they were 35 to 55.
All day long. And I had a ball. Even our venues, what they prefer or appreciate more or less about the brand more or less is that, hey, they know we're going to come, we're going to eat, we're going to drink, and when it's over, we're going to go home. We're not parking lot pimping. We're not starting to stay out and hang out or loiter around the location. It's like, no, okay, you know what? I got to be to work. It's event is over at 11 o'clock, you start seeing our crowd start leaving at 10:30. And I'll push and like, hey, we're going to extend an extra hour, and we never get into that extra hour. It's like maybe 30 minutes after that, and it's like, all right, you know what? Night's over. Let's shut it down.
So why do people say the LA club scene sucks?
Because it's changed. I mean, you think about the day back in the old days of Century Club, Level 1, Barfly. You had so many clubs that ran every week on that particular day, whether that was a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. We don't have that anymore. We don't have like a certain spot that, when people come in town and say, hey, you know what, you have to go here. You have to go there. It's more or less, it's one-offs. So with the one-offs, so it's not more or less like I can give you a certain venue to go to. It's more or less a promotions team. Like follow them on their page and see if they have anything going this week. And even for myself, the team initially used to only do two events per month, every other week. That way we didn't burn it out. But God put it on my heart to start offering more events. So it's not so much at the same location, but it's like, once a month we're at this location this week. Once a month, the following week we're at this location.
Is that a national thing? I mean, they say LA nightlife is crappy, but is that everywhere?
No, I mean, I just got back from Houston, and Houston was jumping. Each spot that we went to that runs weekly was packed.
I mean, we're the entertainment capital of the world, so why are we so whack?
I don't know. I think, when you think about even myself, do I want to go to the same location every weekend? For me at this point in time and stage of my life, I don't want to, but I do like experiencing different venues, different restaurants, all the above. So I think with that, when you look at the older mature crowd per se, or the seasoned crowd, they appreciate that about our brand and what we do. Is like, each time you look up, I think we're up to, I have like 12 locations now that I use, but you only get to see that location once. So that's what keeps our numbers up, is because you have certain people that like being in Santa Monica. You have certain people that like being in Hollywood. Certain people like being in Beverly Hills. Like I have an event come up this weekend with our company, TG3 Entertainment, as well as Upscale 3 out of the Inland Empire that we're doing in Montebello.
Wow.
So it's giving you guys different, locations, different experiences, different cities, different venues, all the above. And I think
so
that's what I appreciate.
People are tracking you on Instagram. Is that what they're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it?
It's at SS Swoopes.
Okay, I was thinking TG3 at SS Swoopes.
And I also have my TG3 Entertainment page too, which is at TG3 ENT1.
ENT1. Okay, we'll say it again. 800-920-1580 if you got something to say. B. Bell of Bad Dog Bully says, yes, sir, our 53 is more like 43. Artist Cornelius Moore, this is in the YouTube chat, says, when it's all over, when the bad stuff happened, Crenshaw is gone. And Willie Ellis says, the red onion.
Yes, the red onion. I do remember the red onion.
800-920-1580 if you want to jump in the conversation. Oh, when we come forward, I also want to talk about the ways in which you're honoring and uplifting the classic hip hop. I guess you all call it old school. I struggle with that term, whatever it is. The pioneers of hip hop, and why that's important, why it's resonating. Is it the original hip hop generations, the Gen Xers, that are, and some boomers even, that are keeping 53 the new 43 and will probably be clubbing when they're 93? I don't know. What do y'all think?
Karis once said it best. I'll be rocking a microphone when I'm 60. I'm knocking on the door of my dang self. So 7 more years, I'm there.
Yeah, and then he'll write a rhyme that says he'll be rapping when he's 90. 800-920-1580. We are unapologetically hip-hop. KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to gear with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Can your pad absorb everything and stay fresh? Always Radiant with Flex Foam can. Get up to 0 leaks, 0 odor, and 0 feel. Because Flex Foam is the only pad with a flexible foam core. You heard me, foam. Always Radiant is so thin, it feels like nothing, yet protects like nothing else. Can your pad do that? For up to 100% leak-free protection, try Always Radiant to see what Flex Foam can do for you.
Small businesses are the heart of America. But you don't have to go it alone. As the nation's largest nonprofit resource of expert business mentoring, Score has helped millions of entrepreneurs build their businesses for free. Get the connections, education, and guidance you need with Score. We're ready to help. Find a mentor today at score.org.
You really about to do it?
40 acres in the mule, this is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
Who among us doesn't like black music? But Kendrick is right. This moment is so much bigger than music. These are serious times. We've got serious problems, and we need serious people who understand that slogans are not solutions. When you want substantial and sober analysis about things that matter to you and the ones you love, this is where you turn. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black. Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, ain't no party like a party, because Sean Swoopes' party does stop, and that's why we like it.
In a timely manner.
It stops in a time, starts in a timely manner. Okay. Our guest is Sean Swoopes. He is a curator and promoter, and you also, within the arena of your shows and clubs and DJ things that you got going on, you take time out to sort of honor and uplift hip hop, the original, the classic, the old school, whatever you want to call it. Talk to me about that.
I've been a lover of hip hop from day one. Literally, you think about it of in the 80s.
I mean, you were 3 on day one because hip hop is officially 50, but I get it.
But literally, I ran home. I think
since
about
your
80s,
day one, right,
all day long of MTV Raps.
Mm-hmm.
You think of BT, what was it? Rap City, all those, and I think for myself, it was the fact of the excitement of running to watch a video or buying a tape cassette and opening up and seeing who produced it, whose song, who did this, who wrote that, and then we moved to CDs. So all that, and then not only that, but just being, in the family, that it was just in my blood, and I didn't even know it was in my blood. And looking at the times now, and nothing wrong with new era of music, but I want to hear you enunciate your words. I want to hear what you're talking about. I want to hear a story. You think about Biggie, Pac, you think of all your artists, like literally, when you listen to their songs, it was a story behind it. It was storytelling. You don't get that much anymore. So it was more or less knowing that, remembering that, and wanting to recreate it, because when I look at it now, even with my children, my daughter's 14, my oldest daughter's 18, they love their music, but they love ours even more.
Yeah, it's funny how they still embrace. I mean, Tupac is still, people know him still.
Agree.
It's been a long time since he passed.
So, I mean, when you look at that, it says something about the music, but I think about it with rock. These bands that were rock bands, as they get older, they don't age out. They just continue touring all the above. We were the ones that kind of put ourselves in a box of once you get this age, you couldn't be
that's
a rapper
interesting.
anymore.
I think, Mick Jagger's 80, right? And he's still touring.
Still doing tours.
Got a 30-year-old girlfriend. That's another show for another day, but...
But it's my thing is like with that, knowing that, then why do we silo ourselves into a box that it has to be this way, opposed to your youngest paying homage to the pioneers of the game, but us still being able to go out and still do shows and bring in large crowds. So my thing was like, I want to recreate that for it to be that safe space that you can come and listen to music within that era. Also, as well, surprise you with, an artist from that era. And that's what I started doing. Like, the first artist I had was AMG. I didn't tell anybody they was going to be there performing. What's happened to see, and I've noticed when we were doing Relax Saturdays at the Melody Bar, I saw him come into our events, and I was like, man, that looks like AMG. And I went over and talked to him. He's like, yeah, that's me. So we started talking. I was like, bro, well, you come every time we run it. I said, what would it take? I don't want to disrespect you. I don't know what that looks like. This is my first artist that I booked. So, like, how much, what do you normally look for? And he was like, I do it for the music. He said, I love this event, this space you guys, man. Give me a section and some drinks, and we'll call it a day. And I was like, really? He was like, really? So the following month, when we ran Relax Saturdays, we literally slid him in. It was funny because I heard a guy, and there's one guy by the name that supports our brand, Patrick, and he goes like, man, I think that's AMG. And he was like, it is AMG. And like the whole crowd just like, oh my God. But that was my first introduction of having, you know, an artist perform at one of our day parties.
And I always say everybody lives in LA, even though they all claim, you know, I'm from Philadelphia, I'm from the Caribbean, I'm from New York, but they all have a house in LA.
Right.
If they can, if they're able. But there's also a real core of LA artists that are from here, came up here, blew up, and then now they're considered old school. Do you think folks get the respect they should and the light that they should?
I don't, but that's why I try to make sure that they get it. So when I said it more or less for my birthday this year, I had DJ Quick.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I think even myself, it was certain songs that he played that he pretty much educated everybody, saying like, I promoted that. I produced that song.
Yeah, DJ Quick produced a lot of stuff.
Literally, it's like I'm thinking all this time that was Dr. Dre, or that was this person, that was that person, and it was like that was me.
Yeah.
So you look at him, or you look at my business partner Razkaz. Razkaz, Lift the Back, doesn't get the respect that he deserves in Los Angeles, but when he's on the East Coast and he was in Europe, he's an icon.
Really? It's so they're like jazz players. They get more love elsewhere.
Agreed.
Even on the East Coast? Because I always think the East Coast doesn't appreciate us.
But Raz, they do, because Raz he's a real lyricist. Like if you think about it, you think about his flow. His flow is more of East Coast, basically. Like he really makes you think about it.
Okay.
You know, like if you really gotta go in there, like play that again. Let me hear that verse again. What did he say? Like whoa, of how deep it is. And I think with it, when we started, I have a new event that we started called 5 Mics.
Okay.
And 5 Mics is all about about hip hop, but it's not old school, it's not new school, it's all schools. So from the beginning, anything that duplicates or replicates real lyricism, that's what you're gonna hear played at these events. So that at the back, we do it every third Thursday of the month. We did the first 3, a combination of Grandmaster Recorders in Hollywood. Then we went to the Room in Hollywood, and Raz had will.i.am come to, I think, our 3rd one, and he was our guest DJ. He felt it so much, and it energized him so much that we got a call the next morning saying, hey, can you guys meet me on Tuesday? I want you guys to come to my office because I want to see what we could do with 5 Mics. I believe in it. I like what you guys are doing with it, and let's just talk. We just ran our first event with him on Thursday that, you know what, it was something that he felt, and it brought some juices back in his blood, getting him flowing.
I mean, that's part of what I'm talking about. That's what I've seen you do, is that by showing love to the music, but also to the artists, it creates just an energy that feels good. It feels like the origins of hip hop. It feels like the origins of hip hop when people were doing it for the love of it. Not to say people shouldn't get paid. I'm not saying that at all, but that foundational love and appreciation of the artistry, the lyricism, the DJs, the dancers, the artists, like the whole culture. I feel like there's some kind of way that you're channeling that.
Well, you think about it, it's 5 Mics, and I don't know if you remember the Source magazine.
Yeah, of course.
You know, how do they measure if your album was bomb or not? It was measured by mics.
Right.
You had 5 Mics, your album, this was a banger. I think Nas Illmatic was the first one that got 5 Mics. So when I was thinking about it, I was like, I want to create an event that gives respect to those real MCs, but also gives respect to the new ones that are really lyricists, of the Benny the Butchers, Freddie the God's Son. It's so many different new rappers out there that are really lyrically inclined, but you don't hear them on the radio.
Yeah, well, I don't know if we ever did. I guess there was probably a period where we did, but I just think there's more box out now, because in the earlier days of hip hop, we knew we weren't going to hear it on the radio,
right? So
we sought it out. You bought. I mean, back then they didn't even play Too Short, right? So you bought it out the trunk of his car, or you weren't expecting to hear, the underground rappers, Charisma or Dell or any of those folks. Right. You weren't expecting it, so you went and sought it out. Now, because you can stream whatever and people aren't paying as much attention, I just think people don't know. They don't know. And radio and the corporate music business has taken over a lot of taste making and influencing.
I mean, so you look at 5 Mics, the fact of saying it was about the music. It wasn't about performances. That was the first thing. It's like, is it going to be performances? Like, no, you're going to hear those songs that you normally don't hear on the radio. You're going to get those B-sides.
From DJs.
From the DJ side of them playing during while this event is going on. But what it happens from the energy, the music, the time, and think about it like on Thursdays. So we do it on Thursdays, it's quote unquote industry night. We're getting these artists that from the era that are in attendance, old school, new school. And next thing you know, we looked up at our first one. Next time after that, each show after that, we've had numerous performances within the night that weren't curated, wasn't on the agenda for none, but the rappers there and you hear the song on, it's like, man, give me the mic. Like, here, do your thing. So, I mean, Will was only supposed to DJ. He performed. Fat Lip from the Far Side performed. Tash from the Alcoholics performed. King T performed. Who can I think? Oh, my God, I can't even think of his name.
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me. But to make a long story short, like, it's the energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's the spirit. It reminds me of those warehouse parties, parties that were in unauthorized spots where people brought their linoleum and broke dance and the DJs are doing it, and because there's an energy to that where, your audience knows the lyrics and they're rapping along. And I wonder, I'm glad you said that, you said that there are some young artists that are also lyricists, because I feel like sometimes we get what I call selective amnesia, and we think everything was dope when we were, when we were coming up, and everything's whack now. And in fact, we had plenty of whackness back in the day.
Agree.
And I think there's plenty of dopeness now. So I'm glad you're able to straddle both worlds. We're talking with Sean Swoopes. You're welcome to call in 800-920-1580. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago was arrested for fatally shooting two Israeli embassy staffers outside D.C.'s Capitol Jewish Museum on May 21st. He shouted "Free Palestine" during his arrest. Here's Black Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, Pamela A. Smith, with a breakdown.
Suspect was observed pacing back and forth outside of the museum. He approached a group of 4 people, produced a handgun, and opened fire.
The victims were a young couple soon to be engaged. The African American Male Wellness Agency says 60% of black men risk developing type 2 diabetes by age 55. To raise awareness, the Columbus, Ohio hub is hosting weekly events leading to Black Men's Wellness Day on August 2nd. And SZA is defending Megan Thee Stallion after Tory Lanez legal team claims new evidence could clear him in a 2020 shooting. SZA slammed the bullying of Megan online, calling her a proven assault victim. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the time? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
Once upon a time, the Clippers had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on their roster. He played in all 82 games for the Clippers as a rookie in the 2018-19 season. 6 years later, Gilgeous-Alexander was voted the NBA's most valuable player. The Oklahoma City guard led the NBA in scoring this season with a 32.7 average and was a major reason OKC had the NBA's best record at 68-14. Forgive me for bringing up a bad memory. In 2019, the Clippers traded Gilgeous-Alexander and 7 first-round picks to OKC for Paul George, who's now in Philadelphia. OKC and Minnesota play Game 2 tonight in the Western Conference Finals. OKC is up 1-0. In the East, Indiana broke down New York with a 138-135 win in overtime in Game 1. The Knicks had an 8-point lead with 41 seconds left in the fourth quarter. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. but you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Good morning, sunshine. You make my day.
I feel so alone. I'm embarrassed to talk about it.
How can I help my kid if I can't help myself?
I can't remember when I wasn't stressed.
I don't like to inside.
When you feel overwhelmed by your thoughts and emotions, it's okay to get help. You are not alone. CalHope is here for you with free, safe, and confidential mental health resources for youth, young adults, families, and you. Find support now at calhope.org.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Sean Swoopes is my guest. He's a curator and a promoter. TG3 Entertainment is his company. And Rakim is his cousin. I found that out at the first moment of the interview today. That's dope. You can find him on Instagram at @SSSwoopes or TG3 Ent1, ENT1. And keep up with the parties. If y'all trying to go outside, I'm not going to lie. I rarely go out. I think it's because when I was coming up, going out always meant working, right? Because I would MC shows, or I'd be making an appearance on behalf of my television show or a radio station or whatever. How did you get into being a promoter? It's you don't hear a lot of kids like going, when I grow up, I'm going to have an entertainment show and curate hip hop.
It's honestly, for me, it fell in my lap.
Yeah.
I did it, but I did it for fun. One of my friends, was funny that you bring this up because we had a discussion. Somebody asked me a question like, when did you start or when did you know? And I was like, well, I said, as far as when I brought back and we created TG3 Entertainment. And one of my friends says, no, bro, it started when we were like 6. And I'm like, excuse me? He was like, it started when we were 6. I was like, how do you figure? He goes, man, he said, you always had the best birthday parties. And I thought about it, and I talked to my mom, and we started dying laughing because, in actuality, he was right. Because each year, I had a theme. I wanted to do this and do that. And my mom, we would make it happen. And, like, she would call me, like, such and such, Mom just called me. He's mad that you didn't invite him to the birthday party. So she, extended the list. So I guess it was just in my DNA. It was in my genes.
Good for your mom for encouraging that. That's my... non-expert advice to all of us parents. Like when our kids do something weird, like even playing video games sometimes or having elaborate birthday parties, that could turn out to be their vocation.
I had no idea even back then because even when I did it in college, we did it for fun. You made a little bit of money, but I didn't look at it the way that I see now. For me, so you look at my history of being in the workforce, more or less. I worked for Southwest Airlines for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Started off throwing bags, and I worked my way up to the top. That when I left, prior to me leaving, I was in control of 9 airports logistically as far as cargo. But what Southwest taught me is they taught me business. Business is business no matter what you do. And when I went in and started doing events as a 40-year-old man, it was different because I had that knowledge. The knowledge that I ascertained in the airline industry is the same. A line wait time is a line wait time, whether or not you're waiting to be processed to get in a door or whether you're waiting for drink, waiting for food, whatever else, it's still the same. So I started just kind of mixing and matching everything up. And with that, of course, my dividends raised. Not only that, but then I had venues that were reaching out to me because they knew, understood line times, understood lobby wait times, understand peaks of what time, bring your staffing in here. If you start a day party off at 5 o'clock, we're not coming until 7.
Right.
So don't bring your whole staff in at 5 o'clock. Bring me in your leads. I educate them on what the day is going to look like. Bring your rest of your crew in 30 minutes before. So at 6:30, bring them in. Now they can brief their employees on what the day is going to look like. 7 o'clock, now we're all hands on deck. Doesn't seem like a lot, but if you think about it and saying, like, let's say it's 8 employees. Well, I just saved you 2 hours for each employee.
Right.
So California state law claims that anything after 8 hours, it has to be time and a half. Well, now they're under 8 hours.
Right.
So if they're at 6 hours and the party's jumping, we can go an extra hour without you going into overtime.
Right.
So I saved the money and I made the money. So that's when the calls started ringing, from the Sofitels in Beverly Hills, Les Jardins in the Sunset Room in Hollywood, the Godfrey Hotel in Hollywood, 1212 Santa Monica on the Promenade. All these different venues were open because when we went in and made our pitch, I made it make sense to them and showing, hey, look, this is the value you get by bringing our brand in.
I also notice you don't play about your security.
No. I want to create a safe space and safe environment. I mean, it takes a lot for us as we get older. We don't want any BS. If I want to go out, I want to go out and spend my money. I want to have a good time. I want to go home safely.
Right.
I got my kids. Like, I need to be here. As long as God says my time, whatever that is, that start date and end time, I don't want to speed up that process because I put myself in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make you feel safe. I want you to also feel appreciated.
So it's a party and it's fun, but it's really a business in every sense of the word.
For me, and I think that's what times people get confused on the promotion side. Oh, that's my boy. He's going to put me on a list. Well, if I put every friend that I had on a list, I wouldn't make any money.
Right.
So what I do, I go to my daughter's school there at Bishop Montgomery, private school. I just say, hey, you know what? I can't pay their tuition this week, but you know what? The city loves me.
Right, exactly. I'm really popular.
I'm really popular, but can we wait until next month? So it's at that thin line of trying to, appease your crowd, show them you appreciate it, but also run it as a business as well.
I mean, and also even old or new, hip hop does have the reputation of being problematic in terms of dangerous or whatever. I don't know. I haven't looked at data. I don't know if it's any more dangerous than rock or, classical music.
They love to put us in a box.
Yeah.
I mean, left the back. I mean, you're not worshiping Satan, but you got some rock music that actually does. But that's okay. But with us, he said this, he said that. But also it goes to DJ play. And when I say that more or less at our events, I don't want like 4 hard gangster rap songs in a row. Get in, get out. Give enough of it so you can play a little dog pound real quick. But then get back out and go to something else.
Don't work people into a frenzy.
All day long. Like, seriously, if there's a scuffle in the crowd, you don't play, whoop that trick.
Okay. You know what? I kind of thought that after COVID, we were all kind of doomed as far as going outside. Is everybody back?
They're back. It was a weird spot, though. I don't know if you know this, but during COVID, I stayed still. Did a lot of prayer. I said, you know what? There's a reason why God put the world on pause. What is it that you want me to get out of this? So I just kind of stayed still and I worked on myself. But within that time, I got a call from a friend that was doing events during COVID up at Magic Mountain. What's the area?
I know what you're talking about.
I can't think of it right now. But he was doing drive-ins.
The 5 freeway. I mean, the Grapevine, yeah.
So he was doing movies in the park.
Drive-in movies?
So he'd blow up a screen and he'd play these movies, in the park, and people would drive it just like how you do the old school days. Like, literally, you would come in, they give you a radio station, you pull in, you park, and they watched the movies on the screen during COVID. So it was like, remember, outdoors, all the things that they had in place that you were supposed to do.
The outdoor birthday parties were drive-bys.
Drive-bys, all of it, drive-throughs, drive-bys.
I mean, I give it an A for creativity, but not so much for engagement.
So the funny part about it was, so he called me. He was like, hey, man, I've been doing these events. Santa Clarita. I couldn't think of it.
Santa Clarita, yeah.
But we started doing these events in Santa Clarita, and they've been doing really well. I want to bring them down low. He's like, but I don't have the following in LA that you do. What do you think about working and doing, doing with me? I was like, I was like, I didn't want to break the rules. I was like, everything lines up. I was like, what, let's do it. So we did Valentine's Day. We did the movie Love and Basketball. And literally, I think we got about 100 cars that pay for parking to come watch Love and Basketball. And that night, it was literally the perfect storm. When I say perfect storm, I mean the winds were like going 80 miles per hour. The poor little screen, the blow-up screen it had, it's flying everywhere. And they're trying to hold it down. I was like, you know what, bro? Like, it's just, somebody's going to get hurt. Let it go. Take the air out. We'll run it back and try it again later. But I started looking at the crowd, and I watched that nobody was leaving. And I sat there, and I kind of sat for a second. I just kind of crossed my arms, and I'm watching. It was like people like more or less, let's say, my family and your family. We feel that each other are safe. Everybody parked next to each other, and they had their little safe spaces. So I brought two of my friends over and said, man, look, what do you guys see? And it was like, oh, the screen is doing this, and, people are upset in front of it. I was like, no, take a deeper look. What do you see? And one of my friends goes, everybody's just kind of talking and hanging out. And I was like, dude, we just need an outlet. We're locked up. We're in our homes. We're going crazy. We're gonna get rid of the screen. We're gonna replace the screen with a stage. With that stage, we're gonna run this regularly. We run our normal day parties. We're gonna put a DJ on stage. We're gonna bring a band. It's gonna be a performance. So we're gonna recreate what we did in clubs and restaurants.
The drive-in club.
It was called the Pull-Up.
Wow.
Literally during that era, that time, that whole summer during the Pull-Up, it was only supposed to be initially once a month. By the time we were doing it 2-3 times a month.
Wow.
Because the demand was there.
That's amazing. Well, it's about creativity. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. I want to hear about your connection with Razkaz. I want to hear what you got coming up. It's time for folks to, if you haven't got back outside yet, let's do it. I do think there's something. I mean, I'm glad you did the pull-up, but I do think there's something about people, being with people in real life, not online, not in your mind, not on TV, but actual people-to-people fellowship. And we'll see what's coming up when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Sean Swoopes, SS Swoopes on IG, if you want to find a party, or TG3 ENT1. And I got a lot of questions, so we're going to do a speed round, sort of, kind of. They're saying in the chat 1580, the dial position 1580, of course, is forever associated with hip-hop, so it makes sense that you're here on this mic. Yes. What do we have coming up, like in the immediate future, as far as parties?
Well, this week we have the All Black Dynasty day party. It's us, TG3 Entertainment, and Upscale 3 Entertainment out of the IE, doing it at Montebello's Club Lit, 5 p.m. start to 11 o'clock.
Club Lit. That's hilarious. Never heard of it. Okay, good.
Did
you say 5 p.m. start?
5 p.m. start.
Y'all can make that. 5
p.m. and done by 11. Look. And you're off on Monday, so you don't have no excuses.
You're off on Monday, okay.
All black attire. So we have a combination DJ-based as well as live band performance with the Wild Bunch and a rapper by the name of Quincy White. New artist, but dope.
Okay.
Very lyrically inclined.
I love that combo of new and old artists. Okay, and what else?
Then we have 5 mics. So 5 mics, which runs every third Thursday. Actually, we have a surprise next month where we're not going to run it on third Thursday. We're actually going to run it on Sunday because the Wu-Tang Clan has decided to set up and it actually be the official after party. So
what?
5 mics will be combined with the Wu-Tang.
Oh, that's going to be fire.
Yeah, that's later the back. I was like, when I got that call, I was like, no, we will reschedule. We'll make it on a Sunday.
Right.
So that's June 22nd.
5.5 mics. Ah, man. Okay.
Other part, which I did forget, I created an event that was just different and more of a supper club. It's called Truth Lounge. Truth Lounge is at Norma Restaurant in Beverly Hills / West Hollywood. That's on the 31st. That's a 9 o'clock start, but that's more of a sit down, have dinner, and then turn up, combination of both. So what you do with that, what I love about it is you have to dress up. It's old school. Like you're not dressing. Yeah, you don't dress up, you're not getting in. I don't care how much money you have. Beverly Center's right next door. Go get an outfit and come back.
Okay, so that's the 31st of
May.
So that's right around the corner. You still have time to get your outfit though.
All day long.
Anything else? Boy, you got a whole party schedule for these folks.
I mean, Fridays. I mean, if you just if you're not a clubber and you just like a little happy hour, we have Rush Hour, which is at Eugene's Live, which was now the old townhouse.
Yeah, I can't believe it got a new name, and you're rebranding it.
Eugene's Live, and then our happy hour is called Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, okay.
And that starts at 7 o'clock, and used to be 7 to 11 at the old location, but now that we're over at the Eugene's Live, the old townhouse, we actually go until about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
So just kind of like pretty much giving people like your supper club, your turn up, your old school hip hop, of just trying to create different events for everybody, because everybody doesn't like everything, but you have certain people that like it all. Well, God put it on my heart literally initially from doing 2 events per month to giving something weekly, but just different experiences.
How do the big monopolies, we were talking about this yesterday, the AEG, the Live Nations that dominate these venues and seem to have a lock on the artists, how does that impact a promoter like you, an independent?
Huge. I mean, when you look at it, I've had artists that I might have gotten at one particular price last year, but now Live Nation is quadrupled the price that they're giving them. So the thing is kind of like, well, yesterday's price is not today's price.
So they price you out of the game.
They price us out. Only thing that you have is you have certain, rappers that understand the relationship. Literally that was built through time of like Swoopes. This is what I get here, but no, I got you. What do you have for me type of thing.
Right. And also, like, not everybody's going to go pay $1 million for a ticket to go see Beyonce or whoever it is. Like, some of us want to go to a smaller venue in an independently produced event and enjoy our music there.
Oh, it's funny because E40, I reached out to him because I wanted to get him and put him on one of my events. And he told me, Swoopes, I don't get out of bed for nothing less than $20,000.
Wow.
I told him to sleep tight. They laugh about that all the time. I was like, bro, you're out of my range right now. Hopefully one day I can get there, but if I give you $20,000, bro, I'm not going to make any money.
Right. Yeah, but that's where we are now. I'm hoping that our new anti-oligarchy phase of our country makes it where we're more willing to support independent artists, venues, producers, and Black-owned businesses like yours.
I agree.
Because it can't be easy to stay independent in this environment.
It is. You have to be creative. Like, seriously. And like I said, for me, I'm not a holy moly person, but I know right from wrong, and I do a lot of prayer. I had to sit still and I always tell people I'll give you a slow yes instead of a fast no.
Not holy moly, but prayer works. They're in there reminiscing about clubs Bitten Apple, Maverick Flat, Glam Slam, and on it goes. Are you making that list now?
As far as that, I would love to. That in my mind, I feel like that I am of recreating, experiences. It's all based on me as experiences, because we all can go back and you think about all the clubs, even that they brought up there in Glam Slam. All the glory days, DJ Damu. Those were the good old days.
Who are your favorite DJs now locally?
I will never tell you that.
Yeah, because you work with all of them.
I love them all.
Of course you do.
But my brother's the hardest one, as you asked me, DJ Brad Rush.
Okay, you said something. You said something.
DJ Brad Rush. Look, I'm going to say it again. My brother's a bad man.
And if I'm a DJ or an artist or a band that wants to get on with you, what would I do?
Hit me on Instagram, either at the TG3 Entertainment page or Sean Swoopes page. Because the SS is actually my actual initials. So my born name is Sean Steven Swoopes.
Okay.
So when you see the SS Swoopes,
so you didn't make up Swoopes? It's not?
It's actually my government name.
Okay.
People tease me about that all the time, but I was really, really fast in high school and college. So everybody thought I'm swooping. So they really thought it was my nickname, but that's actually my government last name.
Okay. So jump in the DMs if you're trying to be an artist, be a band, be a DJ. Compete with DJ Brad Rush. You can try. And for those of us who are just looking for a good time, obviously we can follow you on Instagram, but how do you sort out what you would go to as far as a show, like either an independent show or a big box show? What do you look for?
As far as me, if I was going out myself?
Yeah, if you were going out, if you were vetting an event.
Artists that I love.
You just go by the artist.
Yeah, artists and venues always, like, if the venue was nice and you can grab another artist and mix those two and blend those two together, it's gonna be a win. Look for the artist,
look for the venue, because I'm always feeling like I'm skeptical. What if this is a fire festival? What if this is I got up, I got dressed, but you're saying the combination of artists and venue should tell you everything you need to know.
Also the promoter. Like I said, the actions speak louder than words.
But most of us don't know promoters.
Excuse me, literally, you don't, but then do you really? Honestly, you think about it we all have certain friends that do go out.
Yeah, that's true.
So those friends, those are the ones that hey, you know what? I'm thinking about doing something that's really not my thing, but I want to go out this weekend. And only they'll be able to say, you know what, hey, you got this group or that group, or they throw nice events, all the above. So my goal is always to be the one that's in that conversation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's you ask a friend who's experienced it, right? Because we've all been to a show where you wait and wait and wait, and the artist doesn't show up. The food is terrible. There is no food. It takes 100 years. It's not what they said. So
I mean, literally, between myself and Dana Dan, the First Lady, we go out all the time looking at different venues. We look at different clubs. So we go in there and we're enjoying ourselves, but we're also watching their
You're
operation
also working
all day long. It's kind of like you were saying back in the day, of you not really going out because it was a part of work. Well, that's a part of what we do. In order to be successful, you always got to stay on top and look and see who's doing what's going on new, all the above, but also look for different venues that, you know what, this looks like this would be a perfect marriage of what we do, what they offer. And I think that our audience would appreciate this particular venue or restaurant.
Well, Sean Swoopes, I appreciate you coming in, sitting down, spending the hour with me, and getting us ready for a very celebratory summer.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you for bringing me on.
Come on, let's have some fun. Shoot, things are crazy in this country. That's the time to get out and have fun with your peeps.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Really great talking with you. SS Swoopes on Instagram or TG3 ENT1. You can find him. Look, we've got another Hot Friedman Friday tomorrow. James Woodson will join me in studio. He's the co-founder of the California Black Power Network. And as usual, we'll have a great show for you. Tavis Smiley's up next. He's got a jam-packed one. As always, it will be amazing. Don't forget, if you want to keep talking after the show, find me on social media. I am at diprimaradio everywhere. I even have a YouTube channel. I'm even posting on it. Please follow, like, subscribe, and all the good things. Even yell at me. Folks are yelling on the Instagram. They're pretty fired up about the last few shows, and I'm here for it. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 30